Here we are inside the Village Recorders Studio D, and I've been joined by Don Felder. And Don, your new album, American Rock and Roll, there's some great stories. I know you've got it.
Well, Joe, I spent 20 months working on this record and a lot of hours writing, recording, inviting special guests in to come play with me, sing with me. It was just a labor of love. I had the best time doing this, and I'm so proud of this record. I can't wait for you to hear it.
Now, throughout this album, American Rock and Roll, there's many different people you've recruited to come in and help you along the way. You have a guitarist or two that's helping you out, and there's one fellow by the name of Slash. And where did you run into him, and what was that like? What was that experience like?
I've known Slash for quite a few years. We've done some charity work together, played on same shows for one cause or another. And when I was listening to this, I thought I wanted to have somebody who's currently in American rock and roll today on that particular track. So we reached out to him, and he was busy during this last Guns N' Roses World Tour, but he had a day or two off in LA, and he was kind enough to come over to my studio, set up, plugged in, turned my Marshall amp on 10, and just tore it up. We had the best time, and he just played amazing rock and roll stuff for us.
Did all of these riffs come to you in a short period of time? Or are these things you've been working on for quite a while?
You know, I drive around with my cell phone at fingertips, able to turn it on and record a song idea, yell lyrics. If I have a verse running through my head, or if I'm sitting in my studio, I pick it up and turn it on, play the guitar part, or just constantly filling up these little snippets of song ideas. And then when it comes time to write a song, I quite frequently go back and I'll listen to some stuff, and it might just be 8 bars of a song or an idea for a concept for a song, and I'll take that and actually put flesh on the bones and bring it up to a point where I can see if it's got potential, and if it does, then I finish the song.
How often do you sing in the car? Sing your own songs in the car?
Unfortunately, all the time. More than I sing in the shower, to tell you the truth.
I love the beat in Little Latin Lover. There's some really fine guitar picking going on there as well. Where did this come in? Was this a break song that you worked on, or is this?
No, I grew up in South Florida,
yes.
And there was so much Latino music going on down there, Latin, Cuban influence music, that I always loved that and was attracted to it. As a matter of fact, when we re-recorded Hotel California, which we worked on in this studio as well, the acoustic version of it, I played nylon guitar and did a lot of that flamenco Latin influenced guitar stuff on that version, which happens to be the only song that I know of that's been recorded twice by the same band, the same song, and nominated for Grammys both times. So I wanted to do something where I could feature my nylon string guitar skills. So I wrote that song, Little Latin Lover, to give me a little framework, but a more upbeat tempo than Hotel California, so I could play and show off a little bit of my nylon string skills.
The song Sun is beautiful. Not only the performance, not only the melodies and instrumentation, but the vocals. Did it start out with all the vocals?
It was conceived to be an a cappella piece originally, and with just one acoustic guitar. And then as I got into laying out the track, it just seemed empty and hollow. So we started building more and more percussion. I played a bunch of different acoustic guitars on Sun, played some electric slide guitars on it. It turned out really special, probably better than I had anticipated.
And this is an extremely all-star unit you've put together again.
Yeah, I have the ability to choose people and have them come when they're invited and put together the right combination of the right players for the right song. And it worked time and time again throughout this entire album.
There was another musician did an amazing job stepping up for backing vocals, and that'd be Leah.
Yeah. That was one of the songs I wanted to have Leah sing on, because it's just the way things are supposed to be when all these little elements come together. I thought that was probably the best song to have her sing on. She did a great job on it, and you can hear her voice and know very recognizably that it is Leah, just from the melody she sings and the way she phrases her vocals and everything. So I was really honored to have her come out and sing on it for me.
So when you're watching her perform, and something as big as this in the studio or on stage, wherever, You get nervous because Dad wants to make sure everything goes right.
Well, if anything, she gets nervous because she wants to make certain I think everything is going right. But it's funny, you know, Leah is such a strong performer, such a strong vocalist and writer herself, that she actually asked me to write the bridge to one of her songs on her last record. And I listened to it and I said, Leah, if I write the bridge to this song, it's going to sound like Leah for the first half of the song, then it's going to take this hard right turn and sound like me, and then it's going to go back to sounding like you. I said, just put this song aside for a couple of weeks, let it rest, go on and write something else, and come back and take a look at it later, and I'm certain you'll come up with something that sounds like you, which is what she wanted to do. And so I humbly just took a step back. Literally, she sent me a version of the song about 3 weeks later where she had written the bridge part, and it was miraculous.
What was something that just blew your mind in retrospect?
There's just about something on every single track on this album that did that. That the unexpected performance when Slash comes in, I don't know what he's gonna do, but when he leaves, it's like, holy moly, that's hot. Or we go out to see Richie and Orianthi sits in and just blows the speakers off of the place. Or Keltner coming in and playing on a couple of drum tracks that are just amazing, or Chad stepping up, or having Lenny Castro come in and all of a sudden the rhythm section just blooms out of all his percussion work. Every track has at least one, if not multiple times, like Rock You, when Sammy sang and then Satriani sang and then Weir came in and sang. It was just unexpected, just gifts that fell into my lap on these tracks, and so I was delighted with them all from the beginning to the end.
So you've been playing a number of live shows over the last few years. You look out in the audience now, and what do you see?
It's really unusual to have so many generations of people in the audience that know these songs and respond to these songs the same way, whether they're 5 or 6. There was a 6 or 7-year-old kid at one show that was begging for a guitar pick. So at the end of the show, I went down and handed him a guitar pick because I just remember at that age how just enthusiastic I was about music, all the way through people that are there that are in their 70s and 80s that know these songs from 40-something years ago and that have followed the music and followed the songs and are there to hear these things performed live. So it's a really broad age group of people that attend these shows, and they all respond the same.
Don, your new album, American Rock and Roll, is great, and it's been such a pleasure talking to you about these things and the stories.
I'm just really excited for everybody to hear this record and really enjoy the product of my work. I spent 20 months working on this. It's been a labor of love, and I'm just excited for everybody to hear this record.
Give me that good old